Did you know there's a reason why Kaname Tosen betrayed the Soul Society? Let me tell you a story first. A young blind man was asking the guards to let him meet Central 46. He wanted to ask them why his friend was killed without any reason and why Central 46 wasn't taking any action against the murderer. But the guards had no intention of letting him in, and they were angry with him because he was a commoner from the Rukongai district, speaking to them in such a loud voice. The guards tried to kill him, but their attack was deflected by a Soul Reaper. The Soul Reaper then told the guards to return to their posts. He gently asked the blind man, "I know you. You were at Kakyo's funeral, right?" The blind man asked for his identity, and he replied that he was one of Kakyo's friends, but had failed in his duty to protect her. As the conversation progressed, we learned that Kakyo was a kind and strong-willed person who became a Soul Reaper to help others. However, she was murdered by her own husband. The reason? Her husband had killed his fellow Soul Reapers over a silly argument, and when she questioned him about it, he killed her too. The Soul Reaper confirmed this to the blind man. He further explained that her husband was from a branch of a noble family, which was why no one was talking about it. He added that if her husband had been part of the main family, they would have denied the fact that any murder had occurred and might have even executed Kakyo publicly for questioning the deaths of those Soul Reapers. Tosen then asked, "Isn't it the duty of Central 46 and the Gotei 13 to maintain peace and serve justice?" The Soul Reaper explained that their duty was to maintain justice among the noble families, not the lowborn and commoners from Rukongai. He then asked the blind man if he wanted revenge for his friend. Tosen replied that Kakyo didn't want revenge. Her intentions were to protect others, so if he went down the path of revenge, it would be a disrespect to her memory. She always valued peace and justice. The blind man was happy that, at least, someone understood her dreams and could continue her legacy. Since the blind man thought the Soul Reaper was a kind person, he asked for his name. The Soul Reaper, without any hesitation, said, "Tokunada Tsunayashiro." At first, the blind man thought he misheard, but the Soul Reaper confirmed it. There was no doubt. He was Tokunada, Kakyo's husband, and her killer. The blind man was in shock when he realized that the person who deeply understood her, like he did, was also the one who killed her. At that moment, he felt every emotion: hatred, anger, fear, despair. He was confused, unsure whether to withdraw or attack. Tokunada gently placed his hand on Tosen's shoulder and said, "I'm relieved that you don't want revenge because it would have terrified me if a low-born commoner like you was my enemy." Tokunada was the person who understood the blind man completely and had a deep understanding of his feelings, but he only wanted to see his despair and helplessness. Tokunada wanted to destroy Kakyo's dreams because he hated her for her kindness. Can you imagine how corrupt the nobles and the Soul Society are? That blind man was Kaname Tosen, and from that day, the gentle soul in him decided to take revenge. He later joined Aizen after becoming a Soul Reaper.